Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and welcome back to another preview and prediction video. Today, I'll be doing the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Let's get into it. Well, in 2022, Nebraska had another disappointing season like they have for the past since 2017, even 2016. Well, they started the season in Ireland by losing to a Northwestern team that had only one win last year, and that was their only one win. 31-28 before losing to Georgia Southern and Oklahoma badly. That was when they fired Scott Frost. And after that, they won 3 games, which eclipsed what he had won the one game at that point in the season. So, all in all, it was a terrible season for Nebraska. Let's go ahead and go into 2023 and their roster. Well, they have a new head coach, Matt Rhule, coming in from the NFL. He was former head coach at Temple back in the day and at Baylor. So, good pickup for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They also brought in a quarterback by the name of Jeff Sims from Georgia Tech. He is a very talented individual. He's a good runner, good dual threat. He has a big arm, so if he's able to put it all together, he is going to be a good piece to that offense. At running back, you have Gabe Irwin and Anthony Grant. Anthony Grant's been pretty good, so we'll see how they fare at wide receiver. Marcus Washington's back. Billy Kemp's coming in from Virginia at wide receiver. You have Xavier Betts and freshman Malachi Coleman. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda should be pretty good, and Josiah Fleeks from Baylor should be pretty good. At tight end, you have Nate Burkharker, however you say his name, Thomas Fedorn, and Eric Gilbert, who's coming over from the University of Georgia at tight end. We'll see if he's able to get on the field and play a substantial role, which he hasn't really since 2020. You also have Caden Becker coming in from Wyoming at tight end. On the offensive line, you have Jacob Hood, another transfer from Georgia, and Ben Scott at center, who's coming in from Arizona State. Besides that, your offensive line, you have some young guys in a redshirt sophomore. You have a senior. You have another junior in Turner, Corcoran, and Bryce Benhart at right tackle. The offense looks like it could make some noise. However, we'll just see how it all congeals into Matt Rhule's system. On the defensive side, you have another transfer in MJ Sherman from Georgia at outside linebacker. You have some freshmen in Princeville, Manimon, I guess, Ty Robinson, and Cameron Linhart. A guy that I'm sure that they are glad to have back. I think he's still there. Let's see. Where is he? I guess he's not there anymore. He was one of their better defensive players last year. Anyways, they have Luke Riemann, Nick Henrich, Isaac Gifford, Quentin Newsom, Omar Brown, Marquise Buford, and Malcolm Hartzud. So, it's first year for Matt Rhule. We'll see how he does. Let's just try to predict it. Well, week 1, you're on the road at Minnesota. If you've seen my Minnesota preview, you know where I'm going with this. I think Nebraska gets the win on the road at Minnesota. I just think with their quarterback situation, I think that Nebraska is going to have the upper hand. Then you have another road game on the road at Colorado against Deion Sanders. Now, Colorado is going to be a very unpredictable team this year. They were terrible last year, but a majority of those players that were on that team last year are no longer with the team. Deion Sanders has brought in like 50-something transfers, so we'll just see how they react. I think Nebraska gets the win here and goes back home for their first home game 2-0. Then they play NIU. NIU has been a pretty good group of 5 team, but I think with better coaching, Nebraska is going to be able to handle them, as well as Louisiana Tech the next week. So, going into a big game at home against Michigan, they are 4-0. This is going to be one of the biggest games Nebraska has seen since like 2015 or 2016. However, I don't think you're going to win it. Michigan's just so far ahead of you with the physicality, with the coaching, with the talent. I just don't think you're going to be able to win this game this early in Matt Rhule's tenure at Nebraska. So you're 4-1 before going on the road to Champaign, Illinois. I think you're going to lose this one as well. I think that Brett Bielema's physical nature is going to catch you off guard after a big loss to Michigan, and you're going to go into the bye week with that loss to Michigan hurting you twice. Coming out of the bye week, you have Northwestern. I think you're going to beat them easily. I don't think that Northwestern is going to be anything this upcoming year. So you're 5-2 before playing Purdue for homecoming in Lincoln. Now Purdue at this point in the season, they have a new head coach in Ryan Walters. They have Graham Harrell, I believe, is their offensive coordinator. I think that they nip you here. I think at this point in the year, Purdue's going to have that tricky offense they always do that they've had when Jeff Brom was there. And I think that they're going to catch you lacking here to steal a win and drop you to 5-3. Then you go on the road to Michigan State, and I think you get a win there. I think that Matt Rhule is going to get his guys up for this game after a disappointing loss to Purdue the week before. Then they play Maryland at home. Maryland's going to be a tough team to beat this year. Talia Tagovailoa is going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten. I think you drop this one here as well. Then you have a big road game on the road at Wisconsin. I think you get a big win here. I think you're going to win a game that you're not supposed to this year, and I think this is going to be the one. You go on the road to Camp Randall and beat the other new head coach in the West in Luke Fickell. Then you come back home and lose to Iowa. It's weird how that happens. You beat one of the better teams and you lose to one of the worst teams. I mean, it's his first year coaching at Nebraska. I would not be surprised if he loses some games he's not supposed to, or wins some games he's not supposed to. So 7-5, not bad for Matt Rhule's first year. Usually, first years for him are below 500 at Baylor. I think he was like 2-10 his first year there. But you're at a better program now, so I would not be surprised if he goes better than 7-5. But this is just a starting point. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and Go Dogs.